Welcome back, folks. Well, joining us now on Inside the Valley is Henry Castillo, and he is the Regional Director of Workforce Solutions for Cameron County. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Yes, thank you. So tell us a little bit about Workforce Solutions and tell us what you all do.
Okay. So Workforce Solutions Cameron is one of 28 workforce development areas in the state of Texas. We're one of only 3 that serve single county.
Okay.
And so we work to do whatever we can to help employers and job seekers make that connection for people that are looking for jobs and filling critical needs for employers.
Definitely. And Cameron County is very large in itself, so I imagine unemployment, is that something that you all have to kind of really work towards to kind of lower the rate as far as find jobs for people? And
well, our primary goal with everybody we serve, whether it's youth or adults, is trying to help connect people with jobs. And so we've been very fortunate that just the most recent reports for unemployment in our area, you've heard nationally that unemployment continues to come down, and we've been fortunate enough here in the Valley that unemployment, that's trickling down. The unemployment that was last reported for Cameron County was 5.5%. That's the lowest we've had since April of 2008.
Wow.
So jobs are opening up, and you see a lot of economic development, and again, what we're trying to do is everything we can to connect employers that have that need with job seekers to help fill that need and drive that economic development in Cameron County.
And do you think that's because, in general, the RGV is just growing?
Yes, it's really because they're growing. I just attended a graduation ceremony in Brownsville at TSC for police cadets, and one of the questions they asked me was, is there a need for this? And I said yes, because our population continues to grow, and so there's always a need for that. So in Workforce Solutions Cameron, and this is true throughout Workforce Solutions in the state, we try to focus on the jobs that are most in demand, and that changes periodically throughout the year. As new companies come down, new industries come into our area, we're trying to focus on how we can meet their needs.
Most definitely. And so what are kind of the services that you provide?
So we provide, primarily we provide services to job seekers and services to employers. On the employer side, we do everything from helping them host a job fair, a hiring event, which is typically smaller and focused on one employer. Job fairs can be multiple employers. But we also, with a lot of small employers, they don't have the infrastructure that larger companies do. So sometimes it could be as simple as helping them write a job description so that they can find the right person, and then help them post those jobs in our Work in Texas system. So that they can make that connection with those employers. On the job seeker side, we make sure that they're registered in the system so they can start connecting with those jobs. We also offer a variety of services to help train them how to do job search so that they can better connect with employers, and when they meet with an employer, we have classes on interviewing skills and how to be able to interview comfortably so that you're able to best sell yourself. We have a variety of workshops. In addition, we have workshops on soft skills, which is a big problem with employers. It has been for several years. These are things that most people took for granted years ago, but over time, soft skills has kind of fallen by the wayside. And these are simple things like showing up to work on time, working effectively with others, effective communication, following directions. You'd be surprised how difficult that has been for employers. And a lot of employers these days are firing people because of a lack of soft skills.
Wow.
So we saw that as a really important part of what we can do in our area. So we've started those workshops, and we've served probably well over 1,000 people just in the last couple of years. And some people will come to the workshops and think, I already know this stuff. But once they get, after day one, they're like, I can't believe that I didn't think about this in this way. And we get rave reviews on the surveys at the end of the class, because people are like, this is so helpful. This is going to really help me in my career.
Definitely. And I know the interview skills are huge, because those are the first impressions you're walking in, and that's the first impression that your employer, future employer maybe, is getting of you. And I know a lot now, days now, that people tend to be on their phone and they don't know how to kind of communicate with someone else and kind of have a conversation. So when they get into the office and they're doing an interview, they kind of freeze and aren't sure exactly what to say.
Yeah, these days, so much of what we do, all of us, is email or texting or something else through our phone, and we're not having as much of that face-to-face conversation. But when you have an interview, you're going to have to be there in front of somebody, even if it's on video conferencing. And that's something that we've started to do, where people will do interviews via Skype or GoToMeeting, because that's just the medium that's available now. But you're still having to see somebody face to face, so you have to be as prepared as possible to make that good first impression, so you can get that job.
Definitely. And so with that goes resumes as well.
Yes.
And I know that's a big one as well too, because you're thinking, all right, I'm just going to list my jobs on here and this is what I did, but resumes are very important, the way you lay them out, what you put on it. So I know you guys help with that as well.
Yes, resume writing is something we assist with also. I just did a presentation yesterday to a group of UTRGV students in Brownsville, and one of the things I talked about was resume. I said, even though some employers these days don't ask for resumes like they used to, I told them, do a resume, because when an employer is getting a whole bunch of applications, they all look the same. But I told them, my example is when I get applications in my office, the first ones I pull aside are the ones with a resume, because that makes it stand out, and I can get a really quick glance at what this person has to offer, and I may never get to the other applications. So a resume can help you stand out, but it has to be a good resume.
Right.
It has to be laid out well. It has to be very clear as far as what you've done, your education, your experience, because if it's too convoluted, if it's multiple pages, again, it could get tossed aside.
Most definitely. And so what would you tell people who, after, say, they come in for a job fair, they meet an employer, they give them their resume, and then what should they do after that first encounter?
The first thing that we would recommend is that you follow up, because the employers, especially at a job fair, they talk to so many people, and so the best thing you can do is follow up with the employer. Try to get a business card, try to get a contact name while you're there, and then after the fair, contact them and say, hi, I just want to say, I really appreciated meeting you and you taking the time to talk to me, and I just wanted to let you know again that I'm very interested in the position. You'd be surprised how much little things like that will make a difference, will make an impression. Again, like the resume, it helps you stand out.
Exactly. Now, so can people just walk in? Do they need to make an appointment, or how can people, go and reach out to you all for help?
Our offices are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We don't have appointments, so people can just walk in and ask for any type of service they need. As far as finding employment, if it's an employer, they can contact our offices and we can set up an appointment with the employer, either in our office or we can go to the employer, whatever's convenient for them, to help get them connected with the job seekers that we serve.
And there's always opportunities.
Always opportunities.
Perfect. Well, Henry, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I hope people, listen and really want to go out there and kind of take the number on the screen. So if you want more information, just go ahead and call 546-3141. Thank you so much again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, folks. Well, when we come back, do you love superheroes? Are you interested in cosplay? Well, we have an event where you can give back. You'll want to attend. We have those details when we come back.